I am not allowed to say who I worked for, as moderators can be targeted, and the company requires we remain anonymous. But it was a web-based news outlet that had markets in both the US and the UK. I think a lot of people are surprised to learn that comments on news stories are moderated, and they get upset when the content is deleted. Usually people attribute it to a glitch, and try to repost it. There were tons of comments that I personally felt ought to have been deleted. Of course, there was the run-of-the-mill racism, homophobia, classism, sexism, yeah, it's a thing. But then, there were things that just sounded really horrific. Personal attacks that just towed the line of harassment or threats, but didn't cross it. I personally would have removed a lot more, if I had been permitted. Since moderators' primary concern is the safety of the platform and its users, there was concern over retaliation for the assassination of bin Laden. To avoid being a target, many companies simply refused to post images or videos of him, and not stand out. When this happened, I had just moved to text and comment moderation, so I was not in the room where these decisions were made. However, my understanding was that there was a safety concern. Anything we deleted, we did so because it was harassing or threatening. Almost always it was a lot harder to let things be, than the choice to take them down. To me, censorship isn't just about the words, it's about censoring ideas, thoughts, and opinions. Some people may moderate in a way that censors those, but my company did not. We removed things with no value, that did not add to the conversation. I almost always feel good about it. When I first started doing video, was the 2008 presidential campaign. We had a very conservative manager who loved Sarah Palin. There was a lot of GIFs and other content floating around, with Palin just saying and doing some ridiculously stupid things, and as a liberal organization, we left most of it up. One day, however, our manager brought up this old policy, that no one really followed, about duplicate content, and tried to argue that the GIFs were so ubiquitous, that we should have to take some of them down. We all knew it was because she liked Palin. A buddy of mine, who worked for another company, was asked to remove all videos of SpongeBob laughing. Apparently, it made the CEO's dog freak out. Or at least that's what he told me. I once got a video of a fast food employee spitting in food. There were no faces, and it was anonymous when it was uploaded, so we left it. However, you could see the girl's wrists, and she had a little bluebird tattoo on the inside of one. I was later on a road trip with some friends of mine, and we stopped at a fast food place of the same name. I'm going to pay, and lo and behold, there in front of me is the bluebird tattoo. I thought I remembered it, so I even pulled the video up and showed our friends. We let the lady know, who was mortified, said she only did it once, and gave us a bunch of free food for letting her know that the video was up there. We did not eat the food. Every once in a while, we'd have a random video uploaded that depicted someone committing suicide. This was disturbing, to see someone die in a way that was so completely preventable. I worked as a counselor during college, and a few of the videos we got were people my age. That was really hard to see. There was also the question of who posted it. I mean, who had taken this video, or at least, come into possession of it, and thought to post it. We always turned the video over to police, along with any information we had, but we rarely heard any outcomes of investigations, or anything. That was always tough, because we were just left to never know. You could always tell when it was a suicide video, even if there was nothing tipping you off from the get-go. It was just a feeling you'd get, that something wasn't right, and then you'd see it. The very first one that ever came in was a kid, probably about 19, who talked to the camera for a little while. He said that he was gay, and had told his parents, and they were making him leave his house. Then his friends kind of just ditched him, and he said he was probably going to have to sleep outside. Then he said he just wasn't going to do that, and hung himself. That was really tough. I'm gay, and have had it pretty good. My parents didn't just tolerate me, they celebrated me. My friends said they always knew, and didn't really care. I was so lucky, and this video made me feel so guilty. We had probably 2 or 3 more after that, and every time, it just brought back this overwhelming guilt.